Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
7th Street Productions, 31 Days of Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody! Welcome to 7th Street, and welcome to our final episode of 7th Street Productions' 31 Days of Halloween. We have finally come to my favorite horror film of all time, and of course, it's another George Romero film, and of course, it's Night of the Living Dead. I have loved this movie since I was 7 years old and I rented it for the first time, and it freaked me out. It really, really did. You know, I grew up sort of watching black and white films. I mean, even the original Godzilla film, I saw at a really young age, so black and white never really bothered me even at a young age. And I remember just being obsessed with wanting to rent this film. I lived with my cousin for a little while, and he played a lot of Resident Evil, and I kind of got zombie fever and just really wanted to see a zombie film, but my dad thought that I was too young, and finally he let me watch Night of the Living Dead. And it got right to the part at the end of the film where all hell is breaking loose, and I said, nope. I shut the movie off, and I slept in the living room. I was just scared shitless of this movie. It's just so dark. I'm sure that everybody has seen it, but it's pretty cut and dry. It's about 7 characters who are trapped in a farmhouse with bloodthirsty zombies trying to claw their way inside to eat everybody. All these characters are strangers to each other, and of course everybody has their own idea for how they want to survive through the night. And of course the major threat isn't the zombies outside, it's each other. It's just getting along and being able to work as a cohesive unit. Being a Romero film, it's of course mainly just a character study and all about the outsider, which is Ben, played by Duane Jones, who it just so happens that Duane Jones is the first African-American actor to have a lead role in a film that's not about race. This movie came out in 1968. That blows me away. I hope that blows everybody else away. We'd been making films since the turn of the century, and it wasn't until 1968 that an African-American had a lead in a film that wasn't about being African-American. It's crazy, but it couldn't have gone to a better actor. Duane Jones is phenomenal in this film. My first audition that I ever went on as an actor was Ben's soliloquy from this movie, because it's just delivered so well, and he delivers it so genuinely. The movie is beautiful. I just saw it at the Hollywood Theater, and it was the Criterion restoration. They did a little tour with it, and luckily they came through Portland, Oregon. And I've always known that the movie was beautiful, but seeing it all cleaned up on the big screen was just a real treat. This movie really, I sort of consider to be the turning point in horror films. You know, it was the sort of the reason that the MPAA became, a thing, because up until that point, parents were just dropping their kids off at the local movie house on the weekends to see the new Roger Corman monster movie, and children came away from Night of the Living Dead being just completely, their soul was just torn out. It's just got such a bleak ending to it. It's just impossible not to love this movie. There's a reason that it's been inducted into all these different places of art. It's so highly regarded. I believe that it's like on the 100 like top films that you must see. It really means so much to independent films everywhere. I mean, this movie was made on a shoestring budget in like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania somewhere. I mean, there's just so much that you could say about this movie. A funny thing about Duane Jones being the first African-American lead in a film that doesn't deal with race, I remember being a teenager and writing a paper on this film, and really the paper was more about just the character study, just how major natural disasters that happen aren't the real problem. It's people that are the problem. It's how we deal with each other. And I can very vividly remember my dad saying, well, how come you don't mention something about, the lead actor being black? And that was like the first time that had ever happened. And I was a little bit blown away by that because, when I watched that movie, I can distinctly remember, Barbara's running around the house alone, and then the door opens and Ben's there. And I can remember my first thought kind of being like, and I know that this isn't too much better nowadays, but I remember as a little boy thinking, thank God a man is here, to save this scared girl. And it's funny because, my dad said that, back in the 70s, when you went to see this movie, everybody went, whoa, there's a black guy. There's a black guy in this movie. And I mean, it's incredible. This movie just means so much to cinema. This is an absolutely must watch for everybody, no matter who you are. Everybody should see it. That's it. Thank you so much for watching all 31 of these. At least I hope you watched all 31 of these. I hope you're having or had a really good Halloween. And I hope you stay tuned to other, films and series from 7th Street Productions. I don't know if by this point, if Kathy's Closet has been released or if it's releasing tonight, but in any case, make sure that you watch the world premiere of Kathy's Closet, an original short film from 7th Street Productions. Until next time, guys.